sound. Devo Jones with the pick six, Keanu O'Neal with the hard hit, getting the ball back on offense. Watch Julio Jones keep moving the sticks. Calvin Ridley in for the score. We came back, we up four, about to get in. Our victory stance, no coming back. We closing the door. A-T-L blackout. A-T-L blackout.
Welcome to the show today, baby. This your boy Jimbo Dean, aka Jimbo Slice, aka Jimmy Obama. And you can call me any one of those you want. But please do not call me no damn New Orleans Saints fan. This is Pound for Pound ATL, and we are crawling up into week 7, Mike. This week 7, Detroit Lions is on the schedule. Man, let's get to it, dog, because we got some shit. We got some stuff we need to talk about. And the Detroit Lions is 2-3. They just finna lay down. I know Matt Ryan and Mathew Stafford, Matt are good friends, but like the thumbnail say, friend or foe, baby. Let's find out. What's going on, Big Mike? What's up, man? What's on your mind, big dog? How you feeling?
Yeah, I mean, you took the words right out of my mouth. I think it's hard to really come to terms with it. It's week 7 already. Now, true enough, been a tough season for us in Dirty Bird Nation. You know, a lot of change, a lot of turmoil, a lot of turnover. But the fact that we're at week 7 is we're getting close, you know, next couple of weeks to the halfway point of the season, right? So, you know, I think this is a good week to really tap into what the new Falcons really are, right? Because I think, to your point, in the show last week when we talked about the whiskey spirit, I think they gave us 4 quarters of whiskey spirit. So we ask ourselves this week, will the whiskey spirit continue or has it evaporated?
Yeah, and let's hope it haven't evaporated, because Raheem Morris is on to something. 1-0 is what he putting it as, his mind frame for the team, 1-0. But I'm gonna put this out here, man. I don't know if y'all noticed in the past with the history of an interim head coach just coming in mid-season after a firing of the direct permanent head coach. That first game into that interim head coach, first game, majority, I don't know the stat on it, but majority of the time, that team wins. Majority of the time, they win. It's the second game you got to worry about. It's the second game where you don't know if it's whiskey spirit or not. This is when we really find out what Raheem Morris is really doing. Because coming off that head coach being fired, the interim coach, I'm pretty sure it's above 500 and winning in that first game. It's just to light that fire, get it started. Now, second game, everything settle in. You get a full week of practice, and then we get to find out, is this really Raheem Morris team, or is this team really what we think it is? Now, ESPN Pro Football Focus is predicting the Falcons to win this game 59.1%. And I can see that. I can see that coming off that Viking win. I can understand why ESPN went there with the Atlanta Falcons, because the offense looked good. Defense played for 60 minutes. Can't knock it. And you know, people coming back off injuries. Now, Tame McKinley don't look like he looked questionable with that groin. But I want to say this. To our team manner is looking all right to me. It really, that Viking game, it really wasn't that much a big of a fall off to me, Mike. I mean, that tilt pass and that interception by Foye Oluokun, who we're going to touch here soon as well. I mean, I don't really see too much of a difference, really. He's steady enough. I think Manor need more snaps. So how do you feel going into this game against Detroit without a Tame McKinley growing? Almost the same old story here, Mike.
Yeah. I mean, it's another week in the same old story. And again, you know, we don't like to knock guys because they're hurt, right? And you know, that's not our thing. It's like Tack is hurt. Get well soon, Tack. But to your point, I love the point about Tuioti Mariner, because I think that not only has he been a good fill-in, he's one of those guys that if you really look at, you know, the future of what guys that we can keep around for cheap that might be able to continue to provide value for us. Wow. I think he fits into that bucket, right? Because I think he was a really overachieving defensive tackle from UCLA. I think we got him as an undrafted free agent. He's one of those undrafted free agents that did pan out, that has panned out, and that we've been able to keep around, right? So I think that if there is anything that I give Dimitrov credit for, is that, you know, as much as the draft picks, we like to talk about the draft picks, each year we tend to find a couple of those undrafted free agents that have been able to provide, you know, more than exceptional value. Tuioti Mariner is the, you know, like I said, he falls in that same bucket, right? So as I look at this matchup this week against the Lions, this is another week similar to the Vikings where we're playing a polar opposite. Excuse me, we're playing like a polar opposite, but we're playing a team that is similar to ourselves, right? Good team, hard-nosed team, a team that is physical, but has a bit trouble, a lot of trouble finishing games, right? And everybody remembers when DeAndre Swift dropped that touchdown week 1. I think that the Lions, similar to the Falcons, have that problem where it's something in their head that causes them to just, pump the brakes. They could play with anybody. The Lions are a team that can play with anybody, but again, it gets to like late third quarter, fourth quarter, they start to unravel. And it's kind of similar to a lot of the issues that we have, which is it's interesting that Matt Stafford and Matt Ryan are such good friends because they really play a lot of talent, all the talent in the world, but sometimes execution in those critical moments is it might be what prevents them from being first ballot Hall of Famers, but that's another discussion for another day. So like I said, I see a lot of similarities in us in the Lions. Let me ask you something. When you look at this Lions team, what do you see from these guys? Are you seeing a team that is similar to us, or what do you see from these guys?
I mean, almost just about similar there, Mike. Quarterback got the arm, get the yards all the time. I ain't really won no Super Bowl. I mean, almost half and half on fans favoring him and fans wanting him out the door. They defense is subpar, kind of much like our defense, even though ours turned it on against the Vikings last week. I mean, the offensive line is pretty much solid, kind of solid like ours. They got a running back, Swift, and then we got TJ, and then they got Peterson. I mean, it's a lot of Georgia Bulldogs in the game. Shout out to the Georgia Bulldogs. This is a Georgia Bulldog game, and I mean, similarities for these teams is just almost the same. Now, what I want to kind of focus on, Mike, is kind of what I focus on that Packers game. I want these linebackers to get ready because this is where the linebackers going to have to cover, Mike. I truly believe this now. They're going to be throwing that ball a lot to Swift out in the backfield, and Adrian Peterson going to pound it. So, and they tight end is not bad. Hackerson, whatever his name is, he's not bad. He could get loose on him. I tell you one thing, he's better than that Green Bay tight end. I'm going to tell you that now. He's way better than him. So, linebackers, get ready. This is your game again. You're going to have to cover. Foye Olakun, who we're going to touch on here sooner here in the show. You're going to have to get ready to cover. Dion, you did a great job covering last week. You're going to need that again this week because they're going to bring them, swing them backs out of the backfield, running routes, and them tight ends going to be going down the middle and running those flag routes. This is the type of game where the linebackers, you can't be sleep. You can't be lured in by the play action fake because they love the play action fake with Mathew Stafford. It's almost like his script is the play action fake. Matt Ryan's script is the play action fake. Man, you talking about similar teams. It's ridiculous. The last time we played Detroit, it was that Golden Tate pass on the goal line where they went down, time run off, we won the game. They played us tough the last time we played them. And and it's kind of the same thing this week. They're going to play us tough again. Offensive line not as trash as they used to be. And I know Pound ATL fans, I know y'all saying the Detroit Lions, really? Well, they're 2-3. They record better than ours. Dig into some of their games. Swift dropped the pass, a loss. It could be easily above 500 right now. This is not a bad team. Matt Patricia is a good coach now. His defense is just not where he wanted to be at just yet. But this is not a walkover team. I ain't going to say we should win this game, but we got a real good chance of winning it. And 59.1% by ESPN is really not a big margin of saying that, okay, this is the go-ahead big win for Atlanta Falcons. No, ESPN is not even giving them that. So I still know our past. I know the present of what we did this past week, and we can beat them. There's no question about it. We can beat them, but will we beat them? That'll be something that we'll got to see here in the future and here real soon. Now, I'm gonna ask you this, Mike. Do you think now? I know these trade rumors. I'm finna jump subject a little bit. I'm finna go on Rich McKay. I don't know if you got his interview or whatever. But Rich McKay, I'm just give me your thoughts on this. Now, Rich McKay came out and said it. Now, this is for Pound ATL, Atlanta Falcons fans. Y'all, please listen to this. He came out and said, we ain't trading nobody, okay? People can call all they want. They can mail, email, all they want. But we ain't trading nobody. Now, he ain't saying it's impossible because somebody throw you a deal that's just out of this world. You kind of got to take it. But he said it got to be a hellified deal, though. I mean, it got to be out of this world type of deal. But until then, he said he's not trading anybody. He said he's letting Raheem Morris have everything he needs to win in these next 11 games that show him whether he should stay at the Atlanta Falcons head coach or not. Now, give me your thoughts on that because everybody out there keep talking about these trade rumors. Julio Jones did, Matt Ryan that. Rich McKay came out and said it, the active GM right now. We ain't trading out a damn person. Give me your thoughts on that, Big Mike, because I feel it. You won't need to get rid of nobody. I'm kind of there.
I agree, and I'll tell you why. Because I if you'd asked me a week ago, I would have said, yeah, let's get Julio out of here, let's get Matt out of here, let's get salary cap. And to be honest with you, a lot of us in Dirty Bird Nation, I can understand where you're going. Get as much value as you can, get draft picks, compile the team. Honestly, in theory, is not a bad idea at all. Like,
No, it's not.
To be honest with you, we're not going to sit here and say that that's a bad idea, but let's be practical for a second, right? First and foremost, if you're a kid and you are watching this podcast right now, I want you to listen to something real quick. Julio Jones, first and foremost, a team that is 1-5. Julio Jones is one of the most consummate professionals at the receiver position, because usually with a receiver, you know, it's a lot of personality that comes, a lot of me attitude, a lot of give me the ball, a lot of throw me the ball. Julio said, like I told y'all, Dirty Bird Nation, I am a Falcon for life. Okay, so Julio understands that he could probably go to New England, or he could go to Kansas City, or he could go and be a cog in the wheel and help a team win a championship. But he is committed to this organization. It is seldom in an NFL that's such a cutthroat league that a player has such a positive pairing with an organization, right? And the Atlanta Falcons are no exception. For Julio, for us to lose again, and Julio want to be here as a leader. First of all, think about that. We have good leaders, and your leaders want to be here, whether it's a good record or bad record. Because if you ask the average NFL player outside of Julio Jones, they will be ready to catch the first flight out of town, play on a winning team. It all feels good when it's winning. So first thing that I say about that is the fact that Julio was on board with whatever the team was going on is always a good sign. Because as much as DBN is like, let's get Julio out of here, you really don't want to see Julio on another team, do you? Do you really want to see Julio on another team? And if you do, please put it in the comments to say what you want to see Julio and who we have on our defense that can stop.
Right.
It ain't nobody, right? So I like that Julio said that, hey, I want to stay a Falcon. So that's kind of like a breath of fresh air. Because I would think like, hey, we all think like, hey, if Julio wants to lead the Falcons, then yeah, man, let him go. He's done everything he needs to do. He's not a diva. He doesn't do this. He doesn't do that. So Julio wanting to stay, one, is important. Two, the fact that Arthur Blank and Rich McKay are giving Raheem Morris the opportunity to succeed speaks volumes.
There you go.
It speaks volumes, because anytime upper management gives you the ability to succeed, they might know a little something that they don't want nobody else to find out. And here's another thing. This is my last point. Nobody really wants to trade with the Falcons. You want to know why? Because go back to ask the New England Patriots if they want to make another trade with the Atlanta Falcons. And we got a second round pick from Mohamed Sanu, who is not even in the league right now. So again, man, you can't read into all of those reports. There's a lot of fool's gold going on with a lot of these different reports. So I think it's important to support the team that's on the field, hang all of this trade stuff. But the only guy that I really thought was really tradable was Takk McKinley, from the perspective that he didn't necessarily want to be here. Everybody else wants to be here. So, like I said, man, it's almost like the whole Army and military analogy, man. You ride for the soldiers that want to roll with you, right?
Right,
and
exactly.
We got a lot of soldiers that's locked in right now. Now, again, we're going to make some changes in the offseason, but I think there's nothing more important than what you just said about the confidence that upper management is showing in Raheem Morris. Because you know what? Raheem Morris may give us that one thing that's missing in all of this. Because you ask yourself, why did we almost lose to the Detroit Lions last time? It was our inability to finish. If Raheem Morris can show the ability to finish when we get up, and we don't get, a team doesn't come back down from 17 points on us, and we have the ability to finish, and the mentality is to finish, then, like I said, we got a lot to look forward to, Jimbo.
Yeah, and I like that Rich McKay came out there and said it. I like that. Don't jump ahead. There's one thing about the Atlanta Falcons organization. They jump ahead of stuff, don't they? They always like one step ahead, and you got to be. You don't want no kind of confusion or distraction. They always eliminate stuff before it comes a distraction. And I can see how Julio Jones would love to and like to stay around that type of stuff, because he don't like distractions. He's the low-key type of guy. And Matt Ryan said he just finna take care of business one game at a time. He not listening to none of that stuff. Hey, shout out to Rich McKay for coming out and saying, hey, look, we're not trading nobody. You can call all you want. You can email all you want. Do whatever you want. Write it down. Take a picture. I don't care. We're not trading nobody. We ain't even listening. So keep calling. And he said this too. We ain't calling nobody. So it is what it is. Look here, man. You got 10 more games left, right? 11, 10 more games or so and so. Y'all got to understand, it's an extra seed making the playoffs this year. Do y'all know that? Do y'all know it's going to be an extra seed in the AFC and the NFC? It's going to be a 7 seed this year. So the possibility of the Falcons still making the playoffs is still there. Now, look at here now. Whoever get that 7 seed, look at this. Listen to this. This is what I believe. Whoever get that 7 seed is going to be at 500 or below. You can believe that. Because look at, especially in the NFC, whoever get that seed is going to be at 8-8 or below 8-8. I can almost bet my nickels and coins and dimes on that. You're not going to have a winning record at that 7 seed, brother. It's a real possibility in the AFC and the NFC. So with that extra seed in there, Mike, I think you still got a chance, man. Everybody done lost the division game but the Saints. You only 1 or 2 games out of the. Come on now. I'm not finna go there, but I'm saying it ain't over with. Now let Raheem Morris win this one, and then we finna start talking turkey here in a minute, because it's 2 halves of a season as well. So, all right, Matt Ryan, okay? I'm finna read off his stats. First of all, Matt Ryan is a top 10 quarterback as of today, as of this show that you watch. Matt Ryan's a top 10 quarterback. Was a top 3 as the last week, but some people went ahead of him. Outstanding, all right? Matt Ryan coming into this Atlanta, going into the Detroit game, right? 159 yards. 159 for 244, completing a lot of passes. Man. Don't get it twisted. 1,843 yards. Don't get it twisted. 11 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Look at that interception. All right, and you want this guy gone? You better get. Come on, man. I just wanted to read them stats off before we got it. The man only threw 3 interceptions. All right, with that line being beat up and finally in the line starting to get it together. You might want to hold on to your horse to that pound for pound ATL, because we might be on to something. And like Mike said, if Raheem Morris can teach this team to finish, because if we just could finish 2 of them games for sure, we would have won. The Bears game and the Cowboy game for sure. Them easy 2 games we could have won if we just would have finished. And we talking a whole nother week. I mean, we talking differently right about now. Hell, Dan Quinn might still be here. Never know. So stuff do happen for a reason. But Raheem Morris might be that little piece that we missing. And maybe these 10 games left can show. He got a lot to work with, okay? Now, I ain't like me and Mike, like we said, we don't predict games. We just don't do that over here at Pound for Pound ATL. So I'm just going to tell you like this. Atlanta Falcons got a great chance to win this game. Matchup where similar teams, Matt Ryan, Bulldog versus Bulldog, Todd Gurley versus Swift, man. Hey, who you giving the upper hand to out of that right now? Boy, it's a good day, Georgia Bulldog Nation. Who you giving it to?
Look, you know what, man? It go back to that old game of basketball in the backyard. It's like, if Unc playing, he playing nephew. Nephew was good. Nephew got the handle, but Unc got that move. You got Unc know the spot to go on the goal,
right,
and shoot where nephew can't quite beat Unc yet. And
right.
Hey, look, don't get me wrong. Nephew has the ability to be twice as good as Unc, because DeAndre Swift has a very bright future.
Yes, sir.
But Todd Gurley is playing right now, and I would say for the last 2 or 3 weeks, Todd Gurley has been playing on the level that we expected. We got the guy that we expected. He breaking tackle, he's stiff arming guys, and he genuinely looks happy in a Falcons uniform and lost. Man, I'm gonna tell you something now. What I didn't expect was the character of Todd Gurley while we lose. Because you don't see that kind of stuff around. You see him at UGA, and you don't get a chance to really see their emotion. But I think Todd Gurley has not only been kind of a calming force during this time. He's also been a guy that, you really might have to look at, does he want to be a part? Because, I think we already expect Todd Gurley to just, do a year here, go on. But it's almost like, is he humble enough to know his abilities to say, man, hey, give me another 2 years here. Sign me to a 3-year deal. I want to be a part of helping this city win a championship. And I think that, honestly, if we put the pieces in place, those are things that could happen. Now, there's one thing I do want to touch on before we close, because I know, like I said, it's a Lions show, but it's so much going on this week. Is if there's one guy that I think potentially that could get traded, it is Alex Mack. I'll tell you why. Because let's not forget that Hennessy guy is sitting over there, and Carpenter has been playing well. Because if you think about it now, we get that salary cap out of the way. That's just something I'll be watching over the next couple of weeks. And if he gets traded, again, has done everything that we asked him to do, deserves a chance to go play for a championship, and it frees up that cap space that we need, because I think that, like I said, everybody wants to just write us off. But I give Dimitrov credit in his permanent absence. Is he did give us enough that we can dominate certain teams at certain positions. And that's going to stay with us for the next 4 or 5 years. Calvin Ridley against certain teams is going to be a matchup problem. You know what I mean? That type of stuff. So, like I said, man, for this to be a 1-5 season, there's so much to talk about. We have so much to be hopeful about, to be honest with you. I never thought I'd say it, hopeful about 1-5. It's like
right.
But right now, we really need to start assessing who was a star for us and who was a dud, to be honest with you. And that process will work itself out this week as we take on those guys from Detroit.
And I'm gonna say this, man. The Atlanta Falcons is the best 1-5 team in the NFL right now. Do not get it twisted. Now, the 2 of them losses are for sure, but the other 3, we could have definitely won those games. The best 1-5 team in the NFL, and if they can just pull that piece together, watch out now. I'm telling you, watch yourself. Now, let's get into the closing thoughts real quick, Mike. It ain't gonna be that major for me, but it's gonna be something that I need to put out there really quick, and then you can get on yours. And it's gonna be something that's smooth too, because they are smooth. And I'm talking about them gradient uniforms. Good Lord Almighty, it's time for them things to be on display. Now, you look good, you play good, you make big plays. Hey, it's time to roll them things out. Now, it's a little something behind those uniforms. It got something to do with voting, something I did today. Now, I haven't really been saying it too much on this show, but please, pound ATL, Atlanta Falcons fans out there, if y'all watching this podcast right now, which I know a lot of y'all are because the numbers look good, get out there and vote, man. Get out there and put your mark on this thing, because if you want some change, that's the way you get it. But these uniforms is symbolizing to rise up and get out and vote. Not only are they nice, not only are our boys going to, because Julio Jones and Matt Ryan is going to look good in that thing. You best to believe that. But the message behind these jerseys is to get out, rise up, and vote. This is our Rise Up uniform, the gradient uniform. And I look for them to come out there with that in their mind, and with that initiative that Matt Ryan and them is taking, because this is what the players decided to take up on coming back and playing this year. For us just going out there and putting their word out there. They wanted to put the word out there to vote. And this uniform symbolizes that. And I see extra motivation for this Atlanta Falcons team against the Detroit Lions because of these jerseys is on and because of the message behind it. I see them coming out playing just a little bit more harder again. Another fire has been lit for the Falcons to come out and just play like they played against the Vikings. And those are my closing thoughts. Get out and vote. Big Mike, what you got for me this week, big dog?
Well, that just fired me up, man. I already voted, but man, look, I go sit in line again. No, actually, I won't, because it took a long time to vote. But please,
I'm pretty quick.
Pound family. Look, man, whatever side you're on, it don't matter. Listen, we all bleed black and red, right? We're not here to say, hey, vote this way, vote that way. We can kill it, but vote or don't say anything. Right. So now that we got that out of the way, my closing thoughts are for something that we were going to touch on, but I'll take it home for us, Big Jimbo.
I appreciate that, big dog.
It's the linebacker position, right? So I want to touch a little bit on my expectations for the linebacker position and 2 things that I saw as a bright spot that I think make me hopeful for the future of this organization. And again, it's the play of Foy Oluokun and Deion Jones collectively, but it's also the continued growth and maturation of Mykal Walker, right? Because I saw him make a play where he ran up in the hole last week, and he stuck somebody. And again, he showed that same thing that we saw on film, which is when he hits you, you fall. Yeah. And I think that as he continues to get those crucial repetitions in his rookie year, he would do nothing but continue to get better. So the future of the linebacker position makes me a little bit more comfortable than I was at the beginning of the season. Now, that's just one guy. The other guy that makes me comfortable is Foy Oluokun, right?
That's your boy.
Let me tell you something, man. Like I said, I was talking to Big Jimbo before the show, and I was like, when Foy Oluokun is bad, he is negligible. There have been lots of games where I'm like, man, is Foy even out on the field? I thought that we played one linebacker sets all day, and Foy Oluokun had been on the field the whole game because he made no impact. Made no impact against the run, made impact against the pass. The only time we saw him was on kick return team, maybe scooping up whatever. I don't even want to get. It may be scooping up an onside kick, or maybe not scooping up an onside kick, because I thought about the Dallas game. And I thought about what
there you go.
Anyway, but I think his growth is going to be key for this defense, because the one thing that has dogged us in Dirty Bird Nation for the past 10 years is consistent, physical linebacker play. I would say I go back to the years of when we had Big Mike Peterson, and Spoon, and all those kind of guys. Nasty, swag. You remember D-Block? Hey, we all remember.
Yes,
D-Block was that was some of my favorite years as a Falcons fan, because D-Block, they had an identity, right? So what I look forward to in my closing thoughts is an established identity amongst the linebacker corps. For the years to come, I want to hear these names: Debo, Fort Olakun, Michael Walker. Debo, Fort Olakun, Michael Walker. The more we see those guys continue to grow in tandem, because Debo is the alpha dog of the linebacker core, no question about it, no bones about it. But again, the more we see the linebackers grow, the defensive linemen, they're going to continue to overachieve. Like I said, I see Marlon Davidson continuing to morph. I see Kaminsky continuing to grow. Sanat, love the fact that I saw you flash in the first quarter last week.
Yes,
so
sir.
There's a lot to be comfortable about, right? Not comfortable about. A lot to hang our hat on, right? And if we see it more, like I said, this is a week to see where, is it whiskey spirit, or are we really starting to turn that corner? And maybe in the next 2 or 3 years, we're known as a team that may be potentially a better defensive team than offensive team. But again, we'll see. They're my closing thoughts this week, dog.
A good closing thought there, Mike. And Foley Olakun, almost 90 day. But if Raheem, who is talking him up, and Jeff Albrecht, which is talking him up, maybe they the ones that can get it out of him. And if he turn that corner, Lord, watch out. Y'all seen that in that Viking game. Watch yourself. They had a terrible game against the Packers now, but if they can get that out of him, watch out. With Deion Jones starting to involve into himself, watch out. It's going to be on and popping. Hey, man, don't forget, y'all out there, like, share, and subscribe, man. This is Pound ATL. We are here, baby. We are still rolling. Atlanta Falcons for life. Never going nowhere. Hey, every Saturday morning, catch us on here. Catch that live Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern, man. Me, Mike, and JR. We giving it to y'all. Thanks for showing the love, man. And we will see y'all next week on the podcast, where we'll be talking about the Packers. And boy, look here, man. I mean to say the Panthers. I'm sorry. We'll be talking about him, man, in the divisional game. So let's get ready for these Detroit Lions. Let's open up a can like we did on the Vikings, and let's get to it. Shout out to Raheem Morris. Keep it up, big dog.
Actually, I got one more for you, because I got to plug him in. And it's our third counterpart every Thursday. Y'all check him out now. Listen, we going hypothetical here.
Yeah.
Maybe Raheem Morris, but whoever the coach is, whoever's on the radar, whoever's hot, JR is out there dropping dimes on his show on Thursday. Check out the coach's show. Keep tuning in to Pound for Pound ATL. Listen, man, we're going to keep giving y'all what y'all want, like we always say. But listen, man, as always, it's DBN Nation. It's Rise Up, man.
It's Rise Up, baby. Shout out to JR, them coaching thing, man. Dropping dimes every Thursday. Hey, man. Until next Saturday, man, we will see y'all then. Hey, man, stay frosty. Drink your cold pop. Be safe this weekend and wear your mask. Adios.